We've been hearing rumors over the past couple of seasons that the Sacramento Kings were finally going to trade their all-star big man DeMarcus Cousins. But management has been adamant in saying that they will not trade him and will continue to build around him. There was a report a couple weeks ago that the Kings are preparing to offer a max extension to the 26-year-old big. The extension could be worth roughly $207 million that could be offered during the offseason that will keep the big man in the Kings uniform long term. But maybe the Kings should reconsider and trade the big man. Their second best player, Rudy Gay, suffered a ruptured Achilles tendon last week and is out for the season. That injury is one of the worst injuries to come back from, especially for a player that relies a lot on his athleticism. Rudy Gay was planning on opting out of his contract and becoming a free agent this offseason. That plan has probably changed with this injury. That almost seals the Kings' fate of not making the playoffs. So why continue to keep Cousins if you can't be a playoff team? The best option is to trade Cousins and get as much back as you can. The Kings could lose their draft pick to the Chicago Bulls if their pick falls outside the top 10. And with the fact that the Philadelphia 76ers have a good chance to have a better record than Sacramento, even if the Kings tank, the Sixers have the right to swap picks with the Kings because of the Nick Stauskas trade. So hypothetically, let's say that the Sixers make the playoff and their pick lands at 16, and the Kings keep losing and finish with the 5th pick. The Sixers could swap picks and end up with a top 5 pick. Once again, the Sacramento Kings are proving that they are one of the worst run franchises in sports next to the Cleveland Browns. That's why it's important for the Kings to pull the plug on Cousins and get draft picks and/or young players. There are 3 trade scenarios that I think the Kings should try to pursue. The first trade scenario includes the Boston Celtics. I have the Kings trading Boogie Cousins for 2 first-round picks from Brooklyn and also adding Amir Johnson and Jonas Jerebko for salaries to match. The Celtics have been trying to turn their draft picks into a bona fide superstar player so they can take the next step to challenge the Cleveland Cavaliers in the East. And the Kings could most likely have a top 3 pick 2 years in a row. Possibly having Markelle Fultz or Lonzo Ball on the roster to restart the rebuild is the best option. The second trade scenario includes the Washington Wizards. I have the Kings trading Cousins and Ben McLemore to Washington for all-star caliber 2 guard Bradley Beal and their first-round pick this year. Reuniting Boogie Cousins with John Wall is an intriguing option. Everybody knows how much love that Wall and Cousins have for each other. They could form one of the best 1-2 punches in the league. It'll be hard to trade Bradley Beal away, especially after the way that he and John Wall have been playing the last month. But nobody will hesitate to trade Beal and a pick in the 20s for the best big man in the league. They will probably have to move Marcin Gortat eventually and move Kelly Oubre to the 2-guard spot. But in the meantime, Gortat can come off the bench while Markieff Morris and Cousins starts. Cousins is versatile enough to play the 4 and play alongside Gortat at the 5. Meanwhile, the Kings will be getting a young and talented 2-guard in Bradley Beal, and maybe with the pick, they could draft a point guard like De'Aaron Fox or Frank Ntilikina. For their sake, hopefully the Sixers can come back down to earth and start losing so the Kings can have a top 10 pick because of the Sixers' ability to swap picks. And with my final trade scenario, I have the Kings trading Cousins to the Los Angeles Lakers for D'Angelo Russell and Julius Randle with Jose Calderon as a throw-in. I figure that the Lakers have been debating if they should stick with the kids and hope that one of their young players turn into a star. Maybe the Lakers should just take the opportunity and trade for the big man if Sacramento is willing to deal him. Starting over with Russell and Randle with the possibility of adding a prospect like Jonathan Isaac or Malik Monk with their draft pick is a nice foundation for the Sacramento Kings. I just feel that the Kings have to do something because it seems like they've been stuck in mud for a long time. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.